Hi, honeys. Welcome back to another episode of Ghetto Do It For You. All right, honeys. I graduated from therapy. Woo! I'm ecstatic. I, I don't know. There's so many words, but I graduated. I did it. I graduated from therapy. Um, so let's talk about what I learned. Now, of course, I'm not fully healed. I'm not perfect. I'm not fixed. This is something that I just no longer need her to manage and I can manage it on my own. And as much as I was like, I feel like I'm not good to graduate from therapy, my therapist was all for it. She's like, no, I think you're great. You've got it handled. You know how to handle things now. You've figured out what you need to do. And I'm like, have I though? But anyway, so I graduated from therapy. I read many books. Like this one is completely worn through. And I started journaling. And I didn't really know where to start with journaling with it, but I think it's going to help me a lot. I've not been into it too much yet, but my sister-in-law got me this book that says, Let That Shit Go. And it gives you little prompts. And I'm really excited about it because I genuinely think it's going to help me a lot. And if it doesn't, my therapist also was like, you can just walk outside and talk to yourself. And I did that the other day. And it's very rewarding. Like, talking to yourself does make you crazy. But anyways, I digress. Things I have learned in therapy. I learned a lot, honestly, and I will say one thing. I am very proud of myself. I'm getting up my notes that I wrote down. I am so proud of myself for bettering myself, for my husband, for my relationship with my parents, with my husband, like to be a better wife, to be a better daughter, to be a better friend, to be a better co-worker, like so many things I take pride in being. I have so many titles, and one day hopefully one of those titles will be mum, and I know that I have done the work that I need to do, that I can be the best person for everyone that's in my life and for everyone that's involved. So let's get into what I've learned. The biggest thing, so the reason I went to therapy in the first place was I was very angry, and come to find out, I have a lot of anger issues. But I was so angry, and I didn't know why. I didn't know what I was angry at. I was angry at the world. I was angry at everything. Everybody and everything pissed me off, and there was nothing I could relate it to. There was not one pinpoint situation, and I was like, I've lost my mind, and I went to a really, really dark place. And I was like, I can't do this. Like, I have to get help. This is going to be an emotional episode, God. So I went to therapy. And we figured out it was one situation that had happened that I couldn't get past. And everybody was making me feel crazy. Everybody and their mother was making me feel like I was the problem and that I couldn't get over stuff and I was causing issues and all of this. And I was like, I was going crazy in my own. I almost lost my entire mind just to try and get people to hear me, just to try and get people to listen. Everybody thought I wanted an argument. I just wanted to be heard and understood and listened to. And I almost lost every being of myself trying to have people listen to me, trying to get people to see my side of things, and nobody could. I was going through something, and I was trying to express it by talking to people, and no one wanted to listen to me. Everybody thought I was a problem. Everyone called me names. Everybody said I was rude, but nobody cared to figure out why. So I figured out why, and I got the help that I needed. But I wasn't arguing, and that's what everyone made me feel like I was doing, and I wasn't. I was just trying to have a conversation with people about what had happened and figure out what the fuck was going on. And from going to therapy, because I went through that, I now know that if I am trying to explain my feelings and my side, and I'm trying to get you to listen and you won't, I'm no longer going to fight. I'm no longer going to argue with you. I'm no longer going to continue to sit there and say my piece for what? I'm not going to beg you to listen. I know my piece and I know me. And if you don't ever want to listen because you think I'm arguing with you or you think I'm being a bitch or the sole fact that you just don't like what's being said because you can't take accountability, then I don't care anymore. I'm not going to sit here and convince you to listen to my side of things because clearly you don't care and you don't care about me and you don't want to hear what I have to say because you think you're right, and that's okay. But understand that I'm at the point now where I no longer want to fight with people. I no longer want to argue. I don't want to do that. I don't want that in my life anymore. And therapy has taught me that you don't need that. You don't deserve that. You don't deserve for people to think that saying your side of a story or having an opinion and trying to talk to someone is you being a bitch or you being argumentative when it's not. You're not. I promise you're not. And you don't deserve for people to make you feel like you can't say how you feel. You don't deserve that. You deserve people who want to listen to your side and want to understand and want to listen to understand and not respond. To be heard when you're talking. That's what you deserve. You don't deserve to be told you're wrong or to be shut down when you're trying to communicate your feelings, because communicating your feelings is hard. Communicating your feelings is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. Figuring out why I'm feeling how I'm feeling and why I'm lashing out or why I'm upset or why I'm crying is so hard to put into words to explain to someone why you feel the way you feel, especially if they made you feel a certain way and you try to tell them and they just shut you down or they just blatantly ignore you, and then you're like, I used to always go back and be like, okay, let me fix it and I'm done. That's what I have learned is it's no longer for me fix. If you choose that no, you're done, okay, then we're done. I'm no longer going to fight for people to stay in my life, because why? You don't want me in your life. Why am I going to fight to be in yours? And that's something else that therapy taught me too, was overstaying in people's life isn't about how much you love them. You're showing how much you don't love yourself and you don't value yourself because you're putting their happiness and everything above yourself. Don't do that. If people show you that they don't want you a part of their life, leave. That's okay. That's their decision at the end of the day. It's not yours. And you can know that they decided that they didn't want you in your life. And that's not your fault. And you don't deserve for it to be made out to be your fault. You deserve people who understand you. You deserve people who want to fix things with you and want to keep you in your life and will do everything they can. That's what you deserve. Those are the people you fight for. Those are the people that you don't let go. And I have learned the people that you fight for and the people that you don't fight for. And it sucks. Let me tell you what, it sucks. Going to therapy and going through all of that and going through the changes and trying to figure out things, people walk away because they think you're crazy for going to therapy, for one, or they just don't want to be a part of that because they're like, oh, well, she's pushing me away. And it's, no, I'm setting clear boundaries because you've pushed me around for this long and now you don't like it. And that is something that is really difficult, is setting a boundary with somebody and them thinking that you're pushing them away or that you're doing something, and you're not. You're doing what's good for you, and if they can't respect that boundary and the boundary is constantly broken, then they need to go. They don't, no, you don't deserve that. If they can't respect your boundaries, how do they benefit you? If all they're doing is constantly and repeatedly, after you have told them, and they constantly disrespect it, you don't deserve that. You don't. You deserve people in your life who love you so much that they would never, ever put you in that situation. Ever. If they do it and you correct them and then they fix it, we're all good. But if they do it continuously, knowing they're hurting you, that's intentional hurt. What kind of why do you want that person in your life? And that is something that I really had to sit back and be like, whoa, like, what the fuck? Like, why? Why? And my therapist would tell me things, and I'd be like, that's not me. She used to say I was like such a people pleaser, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not a people pleaser. Like, I don't give a fuck about people. And she's like, no, but here's the thing. She's like, you say you have this hard exterior of I'm not this, I don't care about you. And she was like, but you do. She's like, I care so much about people. So much. I hate when people are mad at me. I hate when I make people upset because I never ever want to. I always want to please everybody. And at first I was like, no, you're a liar. That's not true. And then I sat back and looked and I was like, I have put myself in some of the worst situations mentally. And I have put myself through horrible things mentally to just deal with it, just to keep somebody in my life. Because the fear of losing them was unimaginable to me. Until my therapist made me realize, like, you're angry because they did this and you have every right to be angry. And I would defend them. And she's like, no, you have every right to be angry because they broke your boundary. They disrespected you multiple times after you corrected them and you told them that you didn't like it, or you told them what they were doing was hurting you and they just blatantly didn't care. Like, she was like, you're allowed to be angry at that, and you're allowed to just tell people, look, this is my boundary and I'm not doing it, and if you don't want to respect it, I'm sorry, but we cannot either be friends or be in a relationship or whatever it is. Because why are you going to put yourself through that torture? And I didn't see it until someone took the outside perspective and was like, this is so wrong, this is so fucked up. And I'm like, no, it's fine. She's like, no, it's not fine. But you don't realize it when it's the same as a toxic relationship. You don't know it when you're in it. And then you leave it and you're like, whoa, what the fuck was wrong with me? I haven't really had that with anybody that I have had to set boundaries with, but I have been like, why did I kind of let them treat me like that for so long? Like, why did I think that was acceptable? Because I didn't want to make them mad? Because I didn't ever want to upset them? Because when they were upsetting me, treat people how you want to be treated. And if people treat you like shit and they show you time and time again, cut them out of your life. And I know that sucks. I know that's harsh. But I try to say that if you do me dirty, I'll do you dirty. But realistically, that's not my heart. It's not. I can't do that. When people screw me over, I always get angry and I'm like, fuck you, I'm never talking to you again, or you're such a bitch and I'm gonna do this, this, and this. But I can't ever follow through because I have such a big heart and I can't follow through with actually hurting people or doing how dirty they did me. And then nothing is ever done and we move on. And now I'm just like, you know what? We're not gonna go tit for tat. We're not. You did me dirty, we're done. I will treat you with respect until you disrespect me, and then we're done. And I don't have respect for people who can't treat others with respect, because it's really not that fucking difficult. But therapy has taught me that it's okay to cut people out of your life if they are constantly disrespecting you. It's not a bad thing. It's healthy. And it's okay to feel your feelings. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to laugh. It's okay to feel every emotion that you feel, because when you don't feel your emotions and your feelings, that's when you go down a really bad rabbit hole, or you go down a really bad spiral and you can't dig your way back up because you have buried feelings and feelings and feelings and you don't know why you're mad at stuff. And that's what I did. I buried everything. I was like, right, we're moving on, bury it. And then I imploded one day and I was like, I can't fucking do this. Like, I can't. So now I feel everything. If I'm angry, I am angry. Now, I'm not taking it out on people, but I'm going to feel that anger. I'm going to sit in it for a little bit. I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be pissed. And I told my therapist, actually not that long ago, and I was like, I want to break something. I was like, what has just happened to me is I am enraged. Like, what happened to me not that long ago between me and someone else, I was enraged. I was like, I want to break something. I never want to hurt the person, but I'm so angry that I need to break something, I want to punch something, I want to scream at the top of my lungs, like, I'm so angry. And she was like, so go on a walk and scream. Punch a pillow. Say all the bad things that you want to say at your pillow and punch it. I don't. She's like, they have rage rooms for a reason. Go break some shit. And I was like, that's not healthy. She was like, it's actually very healthy. If people think that feeling your feelings makes you a crybaby, makes you weak, makes you anything other than healthy and actually stronger, then they should be in therapy. And something that I also realized while being in therapy was that the healthiest people are the ones that go to therapy. The people that are actually pretty healthy are the ones who seek help. Because there's something wrong, something happened, and to them they can't figure out why because it didn't make any sense, because they're healthy and they're trying to process their emotions, and so they go to therapy. And the people who push you to that point, the people who make you feel like shit, and they are the problem of it, they are the ones who should be in therapy and they don't go it. And that is why it's a continuous cycle, because the people that need it the most never go because they think they're fine. And it is always the healthy people that go to therapy. And that's what my therapist told me. She was like, you were pretty healthy when you showed up here. It took me a while to figure out what it was because you were really good at processing things. I wasn't good at feeling my feelings, but I was good at understanding certain issues. And she was like, but you had a thing that happened, and everybody else should have went to therapy for it, and they didn't, and they shoved it down and pretended it never happened, and you were left here feeling crazy because you're mad about it. And you have all these feelings, and they're making you feel like you shouldn't have these feelings, and I should have. So don't let people think that you can't feel your feelings. Don't let people think that you have to get over something just because they're over it. Like, that's not how that works. Do not let people belittle you or make you feel like you ever have to do something for them and you have to be nice for them or you have to keep the peace. Keeping the peace is the biggest load of bullshit I've ever heard in my life. Keeping the peace doesn't keep your peace. You're keeping the peace for what, other people? You're not keeping it for yourself. Like the quote, I was taught that keeping quiet kept the peace until I realized whose peace was it keeping. It's not keeping yours. If you're the one that's enraged by something, you're probably right. And you probably have every right to be enraged or angry or upset or whatever. Do not keep the peace for the sake of other people. And I've lost some people in my life because therapy taught me that, and I no longer keep the peace just to keep people happy. But those people don't deserve to be in my life. Those people are not a good reflection of who I am, and honestly, I don't ever want those people around me because that's not who I am as a person. We don't have the same morals. We don't have the same, because I could never, ever do what they did to me to them, like ever. And so I don't understand how people do it, and then they're like, think they're good, think I'm the bitch, or think whatever, because they think that they're God's greatest creation and nothing can touch them. That's not true. It's not realistic. It's also like, you know how they say that your partner is a reflection of how much you love yourself? Because if you have a partner who is abusive, who is not very loving, who doesn't really take care of you or the family or the house or anything, and you're kind of doing everything, when you love yourself enough to know that you don't deserve that, and you deserve somebody who you don't have to mother or take care of like you're his mum, you have true self-love because you know you deserve better. My husband's not a slob. He picks up after himself. He can cook the dinner. He does the laundry. He washes the floors. He cleans the house. He walks the dogs. He can take care of the house. He doesn't treat me with disrespect. He talks to me with kindness only. Because I know that that's what I deserve. And what sucks is usually you have to go through so much fucked up shit before you get to be like, I fucking deserve that. I deserve somebody who treats me nice. I deserve somebody who's kind to me, who actually loves me and means it and shows it with their actions, not just saying things because it doesn't matter, she'll forget. No. Words speak louder than actions, and I will die on that hill. You can say one thing and do the other, and those actions, you can tell me you love me so much and then go sleep with somebody. How? No, you don't. You clearly don't. Actions speak louder than words, and they forever will. And if anybody is ever telling you that's not true, or that's because they've done fucked up shit in their life and they don't want you to know. They don't. Actions will always speak 100 times louder than words. I don't care. I don't care what it is, what it's about, who it is. They just will. And it's absolutely fucked up that you have to go through the bad shit in life before you realize that, like, if only we could be taught that you don't ever deserve to be yelled at by your partner, by anybody. You don't ever deserve to be disrespected. You don't ever deserve to be shut up. You don't ever deserve to be walked all over or talked all over. You deserve kindness. You deserve to be loved so much that you never have to question it. You deserve to have the people around you that just show you so much love when you see them and constantly remind you of how important you are to them. That's what you deserve. People who show up for you. Not the people who forget about important events or act like they never want to be a part of anything or mistreat you. And if you don't have a lot of those people in your life, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make you any less likable, any less lovable. You just haven't found your people yet. And that's okay. And I beat myself up about it sometimes because I see ghettos, and I know social media is a highlight reel, and I know social media is fake 95% of the time. However, I see people who have this big group of friends and their girlfriends, and they love them so much, and they show up for them, and they do everything for them, and it makes me really sad. Because I don't have 5, 6, 10 ghettos. I don't have that friendships. And I see this one creator, she has all these ghettos that showed up to her wedding as our bridesmaids, and they love her so much, and they went out of their way to do all of these really nice things for her, and all of her photos are amazing. And then I look at mine and my wedding, and I realize that my wedding photos, some of the people that I invited, they were not happy to be a part of my wedding. They were not happy to be there. They didn't even want to be there. If they could have been elsewhere, they 100 times would have, over and over again. And I get so angry about it. But it is what it is, and it's in the past. And like Rachel told me, I'm not going to hold on to anger for how someone is making me feel. But it does anger me. Because I should have picked better people. But I didn't know that they were not going to be good people. Like, I didn't know. You never know. Hindsight is 20/20. You don't know people are going to flip a switch on you the next day and be like, haha, just kidding, fuck you, see you later. Like, these aren't things that you can ever predict. But I have to remind myself that just because that happened to me doesn't mean I don't have good friends. I have some of the very best friends. Do I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them? No. I have 3, 4, maybe 4 on a good day. Depends how she's feeling. Also, probably should even be a friend at that point, but and that's okay. I don't want 10 friends that are fake. I want my little friend, my little small group of ghettos who love me and want to be a part of my life and actually put in the effort to be a part of my life. That's who I want. Not the people who you have to beg to hang out with. You have to constantly be the first person to reach out. Or if you don't message them, you're not hearing from them for months. Or the fact that, like, you just have to be like, hey, are we hanging out today? Oh, I'm tired. Oh, I forgot. Oh, this. Oh, that. Every single time. Nobody is that busy. No. If you care about somebody and you are genuinely their friend, they'll make the effort. And you deserve somebody who wants to put that effort in. You don't deserve the person who constantly bails on you that you never actually hang out with. Like, that's kind of bullshit. How is that fair? Well, you're constantly putting in the effort to go see them, or you're constantly trying to hang out with them and they're just never available because they're busy. No, I refuse. I refuse to accept it because I am someone who works a full-time job, who has dogs to take care of, who has a house to take care of, who has a podcast that she's trying to run, and I still make time for my friends. So the I'm too busy and I'm too tired thing doesn't work on me anymore. It used to, because I used to be such, I am an understanding person, but I now have the boundary set in place to where, no, I'm understanding for so long until you are taking the piss and we're done. And I'm not playing the game of people being in a mood and the walking on eggshells. And that's literally what one of my books is called from therapy, is Stop Walking on Eggshells. In this book, people deserve some grace, they do, but they don't deserve all of your grace. And that's what this book teaches me. People deserve the understanding of, yeah, life happens, you forgot. Okay, understand. I'm too tired. Understand. Yep, understand 110%. See when it's not reciprocated? Because when you're too tired, they want to throw a hissy fit. Or when it's now, we're on our 7th time of me being understanding that you're tired. Or that you forgot. Like, what are you playing at? It's not that hard if you want to make the effort for friends. And I have lost some friends in the past 6 months. In the past year, I have lost friends. I have lost people who I thought were really close to me. And it sucks. But when they don't want to respect your boundary and they want to push and push and push, I can only take so much as a human being, so be kind. Be kind to others, be kind to strangers, smile at people. You don't know what people are going through. It could be the person's worst day on the fucking planet. And you're going to be a bitch. Why? That is what therapy has taught me, is boundaries must be set with everybody. If someone disrespects your boundary, you don't have to immediately be an asshole and be like, nope, we're done. No, you can correct them once or twice. Hey, I don't really like that. If you keep doing it, I'm going to have to, whatever it is, leave or stop talking, whatever. But then when they continuously do it, no, you are disrespecting me and my boundary, and that's not okay. Feel your feelings. It's like when you're going through something really difficult, you have to go through it. You have to feel all of it, and it sucks, but you have to feel it. Otherwise, you're never going to get better because you never actually went through it. You didn't, and it sucks going through it. Let me just tell you firsthand, okay? It sucks. But go through it and you will come out a better person. I hated therapy for like the first 6 months of it. Okay, I hated therapy. I was like, this is bullshit. I hate this. Like, I feel like we're getting nowhere. Telling her all this shit that happened and nothing's really understanding. My first book that I read, I was like, this is absolutely bullshit. Like, it's so boring. I'm not understanding anything of it. And then by the time we got to the end of it, I was like, maybe you did something with that. I feel a little bit better. And then you go in for your next session and you feel like shit again. Like, because you were constantly working on yourself. And that means you're good. You're healing. You're never fully healed. But I'm healing. And I am proud of that. And I am proud of myself for pushing me. If nobody's proud of me, I'm proud of me. If not a single person in the world is proud that I graduated therapy and I made myself a better person, I'm proud of me. And I don't need the validation anymore. Because I know that I put myself through that. I did it. I worked on myself for a long time. And it was hard. And there was a lot of blockers in the way. But I did it. I'm proud of me. And I'm proud of you if you were going to therapy and you were working on yourself. Or if you're not going to therapy but you're working on yourself. Because therapy is expensive and I know that. But if you are trying to better yourself, I am proud of you. I love you, honeys. And I'll see you guys next Friday. Bye, honeys.